So we're on the subject of maritime. Let me now welcome on board Commander P.R. Hari, the CMD at GRSE, joining in on the show right now to talk about what exactly is happening. And thank you so much for joining in today on the show. Firstly, I want to talk about the DAC meeting that's due today. 2025, of course, has been the year for defense reforms. Tell me, what kind of opportunities are you spotting now for GRSE this time and through the year? How is it that you have this, record DAC procurement approvals strengthening your order book?
Thank you, Aisha. The year so far has been very good for us, as evident. And this has been primarily because of a very robust physical performance. Just to place on record, my company has delivered 5 warships to the Navy during the last 8 months. That translates into a ship every month and a half, and this is very credible by any standard. And this has translated into an equally robust financial performance. Half year one has been very encouraging. Revenue has moved up by 38% to 2,987 crores, and so has the profit after tax, registering a growth of 48%. So the year so far has been good for the company. To answer your question, and taking a cue from what Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal just brought out, Indian shipbuilding industry is at the cusp of a transformation, both in the defense and in the non-defense segment. I'll first touch upon the defense segment. Now, in the defense segment, we cater for the requirements of both the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard. And as of today, 3 RFPs, the tenders, the bids have been submitted by the potential shipyards, and these stand amount to about 10,000 crores. And the Defense Acquisition Council has already accorded AON for 7 more projects, like the P-17 Bravo, the LPD, the mine countermeasure vessel, and so on. And the total value of these orders, I expect the RFPs to come out from now up to the next 12 to 18 months. The total value of these RFPs is likely to be to the tune of about 1,55,000 crores. So there is enough on the anvil on the defense rebuilding segment. Now coming to the non-defense arena. Now this has been a focus area of the government, and as of now, while we may be ranked 16th globally among the in terms of the shipbuilding volume, that is a commercial shipbuilding volume, that is just about 0.06%. The aim of the government is to ramp up and get our position to within top 10 by 2030 and within the top 5 by 2047. This is a very ambitious, both these targets are very ambitious, but the policies on the anvil, a slew of initiatives that are being formulated by the government, has put us on the right track. And as per my information, the entire shipbuilding revitalization package comes to the tune of around 69,725 crores. This is a huge amount which shall be spent on the Indian shipbuilding industry in the coming years. So the opportunities in the defense and in the non-defense segment are enormous. Again, just to put things in the right perspective, the Ministry of Shipping has recently aggregated the demands of the Indian public sector and non-defense public sector undertakings like the IOCL, the Coal India, and so on. This demand alone is a huge number, 207 number of ships required by these entities in the coming years. So just to put it in a nutshell, the opportunities are good and we are there. We are very much there.
Okay, so sounding optimistic and some tall targets set up in terms of India's shipbuilding presence globally in the near future. But Mr. Hari also talked to us about some company-specific news. And will any of the fast-track emergency procurement items that we're hearing about, missiles or radars, would any of those be retrofitted onto the 43 platforms that are currently under construction? And if you could give us a sense on how that could affect your delivery timeline?
Thank you, Snehi. Yes, through emergency procurement, my company has got an order for naval surface guns. And the emergency procurement mostly, in my appreciation, would be linked to weapons and systems. But as a fully diversified entity, we stand a good chance of getting into this segment. And as I mentioned, we are currently executing an order for the Indian Navy for naval surface guns. These will be installed on board the various platforms that are being constructed by not only by GRSE, but the other Indian shipbuilders also. And these are unlikely to affect the progress of any of these platforms, be it GRSEs or others.
So speaking of your financials then, you've guided for about a 25 to 30% growth, right? But a potential revenue gap exists between the current project completions and the next gen Corvette as well, that's NGC. With a significant portion of the current 20,200 crores backlog scheduled for delivery in the next 12 to 24 months, how is it that you plan to bridge the potential revenue plateau in FY28-29 before the 25,000 crore rupees plus NGC project hits peak execution for you?
See, our current order book is, as you rightly said, 20,205 crores. And we have recorded a growth of CAGR of almost 25% during the last 5 years with respect to our revenue from operations. And we intend to maintaining the same tempo. As you rightly said, these existing projects are expected to be completed by financial year 29. And we also expect the contract for the next generation Corvette to be concluded by this financial year. So we are very confident of ending this financial year with an order book plus 50,000 crores. Perhaps the question what you had asked is, how am I going to execute these orders? The P-17 Alpha project is moving on the right track. The first ship we have delivered ahead of schedule. The second ship is well on track. We will be delivering it early next year. And the third ship will also be completed during the next financial year. So the project is well on track. This is a high value project, for which we have around 12,000 crores of revenue left. And the other two projects, major projects, there is the anti-submarine shallow water project and the next generation Corvette project, which comprise of the balance of the order book, will be completed by 2028-29.
Okay, so I just wanted to have a follow-up, Mr. Hari, on this next-gen Corvette project that you've spoken. As of Q2, you were the L1 bidder for the next-gen Corvettes. Has the formal contract signing been done? What is the expected advance payment percentage that is going to hit the books in FY26, or will that spill over into the next financial year?
As you said, we are the L1. The contract negotiations are currently in progress, and we are confident of concluding the contract by the end of this financial year, which means by the end of this financial year, we should have the NGC contract in our bag. And yes, not advance. I would not use the term advance. The first stage payment is expected during the current financial year. And the order value is likely to be to the tune of plus 30,000 crores.
And also talk to us about some recent developments in the company. You've recently signed an MOU for a greenfield shipyard in Andhra Pradesh. Talk to us about what is the planned capex for this facility, and if this is going to focus exclusively on export orders and commercial vessels. How is the planning done on the capex front?
I'll again like to put it in the right perspective. We have currently the capacity to build 28 ships, both large and medium stroke small. This we have systematically brought up from 20 to 24 and 28 currently. And with the ongoing revitalization of our existing facilities, we should be able to bring it to 32 ships by 2026. But this itself is grossly inadequate to meet the demand that is existing in the Indian shipbuilding sector. That is the reason why we are looking for greenfield and brownfield expansion. We intend doing this in two segments. One, within West Bengal, we have identified 3 areas. The work has already started. And as you said, both on the East Coast in Andhra Pradesh and in the West Coast, we are yet to take a decision as to which area will finally home on. In East Coast, it would be, if we do it, it could be in Andhra Pradesh, and in the West Coast, it will be in Gujarat. That decision and the work will start in the next 3 to 6 months.
So that's a take on that facility. And lastly, also talk to us about any impact you're expecting to see in terms of this atomic bill that has been recently passed. Any view on that front? Any impact?
Could you repeat the question, please? I didn't get you.
Sure. So the recent developments that we've seen in the parliament, one of them has been the allocation towards defense, but they've also cleared, and there has been a lot of talk about the nuclear energy bill, the atomic bill that has now been cleared. Is there any impact at all to the company on that?
Absolutely no impact.
Okay.
As you may be aware, our core strength is in surface ship construction, both the defense and non-defense, and there is no impact on any policy change with respect to what you mentioned on the business outlook of my company.
Great to have you then on the show. Thank you so much for your time today. And here's wishing you and your entire team a very happy new year from all of us.
Thank you and wish you all a very happy new year. Thank you.
Okay, that's positive.